Thursday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. The tight end Henry here in motion. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And some room to maneuver. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week. Yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Stafford. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Stafford on 3rd down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they will score a pick-6 for Bears touchdown. CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
To throw again on second down. Stafford. He's got his tight end. It's Chris Manhertz. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On second and 11 now. Stafford. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Stafford. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Jack Fox out to punt here on fourth down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
On second down, Swift. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production mix they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Hunter Nice-Swander on to punt now on 4th down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
Now Brown. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum, because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
101 yards on the ground here for Swift, and he's got a 1st down as well. The Bears in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now they'll throw with Rodgers.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
that might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Rodgers now to throw.
As this complete to Woods.
Touchdown, Bears! Robert Woods, his second touchdown on the season.
And the Bears have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford.
That caught by Manhurts.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Rodgers going to throw. Open man, the tight end Henry. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, I think we all understand his disappointment. Didn't quite get to the end zone, and you know it's just got to be tough to see a yard line underneath you after a play like that. Still, all in all, a huge play, and now they're set up first and goal at the 1.
Got his man, and it's caught for Chicago. Touchdown. Hollywood marks Marquise Brown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bears are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On second and very short, Stafford. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down. To throw is Rodgers. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Commanders are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste.
And they will score. Pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Excellent job on the tackle for loss by Harold Landry, shooting into the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now on 2nd and 13, Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the Commanders are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And now here is another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Christian McCaffrey, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And he is out of bounds here on the return. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They're going to get 9 here on 1st down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're ready to move to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers.
Open man is Denzel Mims. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. And now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's Rodgers. Touchdown! Marquise Brown with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Bears have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
To throw is Stafford.
Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
20.
Back to throw, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
20. You're right, 22. And 70.
From the gun, here's Stafford.
And that one into the hands of Brown downfield.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
On first down, it's Stafford.
Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
McCaffrey is in. Touchdown, Commanders. Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
And he will bring this this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
And that'll cut the lead down to 28.
Next to score, Bears 49, Commanders 21.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it, and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to give them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers.
He's got this one completed to Mims.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's caught left side. It's Woods.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that...
It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers.
And the Bears add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
10, 10. 50, 50.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Washington on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Libra. Middle. They give me radar. Omaha, they move.
Now Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Got him in. It's Brown.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
2nd and 11 now.
Now it's Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
He'll air this one out for Mims.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Sanders on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers looking to throw. They still can't get him. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Throwing is Stafford. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
That complete over the middle. He's got Manhurts, the tight end. And as this defense walks off the field, they